a little bit biased here, but Red by Taylor Swift is an absolute masterpiece. And no, it's not just because I'm a Swiftie. This song reflects on a relationship that was intense, tumultuous, and has now ended, but was once great. That is a song that we've all heard before. But the difference is how Taylor Swift tells the story. This song is packed full of literary devices and musical decisions that make it feel like we're living the song with her. So today we're going to break down the songwriting techniques that she's using to captivate us. The first thing that she does to grab us is to have an iconic intro. Even though it's simple, there's a lot of things working in her favor here. The songwriting terminology for this is called a secondary hook. It's a melody other than the main chorus melody that is very catchy and instantly recognizable, so that if a listener hears this song and hears the intro, they're going to want to listen through and not skip it. The other thing that she does is that she takes the chords from the verse and arpeggiates them. This creates a feeling of suspense, reflection, nostalgia, longing, which are all feelings that are explored later in the song. Now we're into the verse.
Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street.
Taylor introduces a lot of really cool ideas here. First, we start the song off with a simile. In case you missed that lesson in English class, a simile is a comparison between two items that seem unrelated. Usually it uses the word like or as. The reason that we use similes is because it's a creative way of painting a description or making imagery more vivid. So in this example, she's comparing her relationship to something that's new and exciting like a Maserati, but that she knows is going to end like a dead-end street. And how do we know that? It's because she explains it in the next line.
Faster than the wind, passionate as sin, and it's so suddenly.
This simile basically sums up the entire song in just the first two lines. It's a really creative way of painting the scene of what's going to happen next. I also think it's really cool that she's being specific about the feelings, but she's not being specific about the situation. That way, it's universal so that any listener can imagine their own scenario or envision their own life in the song. The other thing that's really cool about the second line is that she has a lot of internal rhyme. Looking at the lyrics, she switches between the ah sound and the I sound. So faster than the wind, passionate as sin, and in so suddenly. So she's got the I sounds going back and forth. This makes the line really rhythmic and provides a little bit of ear candy for us. I love internal rhyme. The third line is when we really start to see where this song is going. And that's because she introduces the repetitive structure. I didn't realize this until I was much older, but every phrase in the song starts with a gerund, if we're gonna be specific, and him. So loving him, touching him, missing him, forgetting him, regretting him. You get the idea. I think it's really cool because she talks us through her feelings in every single one of these moments that you have when you're in a relationship or when you're after a relationship and you're reflecting on it. Now we're gonna skip ahead to the last line of the verse.
Like the colors in autumn so bright, just before they lose it all.
The last line serves two purposes really well. She uses the changing of seasons to describe how her relationship went from a vibrant fall to a cold winter, but also this line perfectly sets up the theme of colors that we're going to experience in the chorus. I gotta say, she's efficient. Now we're in the chorus. She maintains the repetitive structure, but switches from similes to metaphors. Metaphors are similar to similes in which they compare two objects that seem unalike, but we don't use the words like or as. This makes metaphors more direct and more impactful. So throughout the section, she uses the colors blue, gray, and red to describe the different phases of her relationship and really paint a vivid image to the listener of what she's going through. Another thing that she does in the chorus is vary her melodic phrasing. A melodic phrase is the complete unit of a melody or an idea. Let's go back to the verse and count how many bars of music it takes for her to go through one melodic idea.
Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street. Faster than the wind, passionate as sin, and it's so suddenly.
So 8 bars is what it takes for the verse to get through a whole idea. Let's look at the chorus.
Losing him is blue like I never known. Missing him was dark.
So right there, when we get to missing, we're already onto the second phrase. Losing him, missing him, forgetting him. So we've shortened down the melodic phrasing to 2 bars. This creates a feeling of momentum as we're speeding up the phrasing and making it feel like we're going to be getting to that hook line, the payoff, even sooner. The last songwriting technique that we're going to go through is theory-based, so bear with me, we're going to go through it slow. So this song is in the key of E major, but we almost never hear it in the song. Instead, we're gravitating around the chords A, C sharp minor, and B. That's the 4, A, F sharp, G sharp, A, so the 4, the 6 minor, and the 5. It's really cool that she almost exclusively uses these chords in the song because it creates a floating feeling, kind of like we were talking about in the intro. The 4, 6, and 5 are all unstable chords. They don't have a solid resolution the way that a 1 chord does. A 1 chord feels like home, it feels like you've landed. But the 4, the 6, the 5, we're kind of suspended. We don't know where we're going. And that's how Taylor feels in the song. This relationship is all about one that has a lot of ups and downs, not feeling grounded, having a rough ending. So that's something that she uses in the music as well to paint that feeling. All right, you guys, that's all that I got for you today. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let me know in the comments which technique is your favorite and also if I missed any of them in the song. Thank you so much for sticking around and keep writing.